Okay,
Increase the
We are
voltage.
all right.
live.
We're live. Welcome to the Three Marketeers Show, ladies and gentlemen. This is the episode 49. Hey, what is your finger thing? Okay, it's 49. You gotta do the work, right? So this is episode 49. We are one episode away from our 50% of our milestone. We say we want to do 100 episodes since we started on the first episode. We wanted to do 100 episodes. And can you imagine? We are reaching half of it next week. And this week, we have a very special guest, Joshua, who is going to be sharing with us how it feels to be a host and MC and voiceover talent. It's a very, very, very interesting topic. So, guys, anyone like me that, when I was young, there was one point of my, little dream that I actually wanted to be either an MC or a radio announcer or a voiceover talent. That's really something that I wanted to do when I was young, but okay, never mind. I never get to do that, but eventually I become a trainer anyway. So if you have any questions regarding this voice industry, you definitely can ask along the way. But before we start, I just want to quickly introduce my co-hosts. Like, I'm Jason. If this is the first time we meet, what happened to you, right? But anyway, this is our show. Three Marketers. The Three Marketers, what we do is we go live every Wednesday night at 10 p.m. on my YouTube channel as well as my Facebook page to really discuss one topic every week. So we started with Facebook advertising, then eventually we open up to digital marketing, and we even open up further into the business side of it. And now we have a very special, interesting topic over here, which is the voice. So we have my co-host here. We have Andrew on the top right, is it left or right? Anyway, top left. Andrew is from Malaysia. He's an email conversion strategist. Anything you need to know about email that you are doing it or not doing it right, definitely you got to talk to him. And on my what left
beside
or right?
Just beside you.
Just beside me. That dude. Finally he actually changed color. This guy started with yellow, and we had yellow version of Manfred for 47 weeks. 47 or
46
weeks. And Manfred, out of sudden, he got a strike of lightning and he changed himself into a, like a purple color. So he just told us that he had 2 pieces, 3 by 5 anyway. So Manfred is from Singapore, and this guy is really our researcher in chief. Whatever we don't know, we just ask Manfred, what is this all about? Dig something out, and this is what he does. Okay, and we have Joshua here, of course. But we will do the introduction a little bit. But nonetheless, if you're watching this live, right, can you quickly say hi? We have Bob here. What's up, Bob? Right. So Bob is here.
Hi, Bob.
Hey, Bob. I actually watched your live just now, but I was doing dishes, so I couldn't say hi to you guys. Okay, so we have Richard. Richard, what's up? Okay, so ended up working with Facebook ads. I hope I work with Facebook ads. I work with myself anyway. So thanks for joining us, Richard. So you guys, any questions, pop in, right? So Joshua is Andrew's guest. So I think it would be best if Andrew can help us do a bit of introduction, to really welcome Joshua to the show. Andrew.
Okay, let's go.
Right.
So, Zoom, Google Meet has been with us for 1.5 years. Anybody who does any professional work, very unlikely that they've never done a Zoom. And then while researching, about the thing with Zoom or even virtual meetings is how do you actually elevate your presence? And we were just having a chat with Joshua behind. For me, for example, I have an issue with getting my energy up to basically be able to dictate or come across as very clear when I communicate. And when we met up in a networking session, and when I talked to Joshua, the first idea is he's going to be a guy that's going to share with us how can you elevate your presence besides your visual? Because, if you're on video, that's all, like Joshua mentioned, you only have your sound and also your visual, your picture. But how can you elevate your presence by using your voice? How can you project your voice so that you come across as an authority, you come across as being confident, for example? And that's why we are lucky today to have Joshua on. I call him the voice. And the topic of today is called the art of voice. And Joshua is going to share with us, from his experience as a voiceover talent, as an MC, what are the little things that you can do in order for you to come across better, to come across a bit more dominant when you're in a Zoom meeting. or even a Google Meet. Joshua, thank you so much for joining us. Over to you.
Joshua, please share with us your background a little bit. Help
Yeah.
our audience understand you. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you everybody for inviting me. So
Finally, that voice, right?
Oh,
Check it out.
yeah.
So thank you everyone. Thank you for those who are
Close,
watching.
close your eyes.
A little
and
bit
just
about
listen.
myself. Well, I was born here in Kelana Jaya. I was born very near to the FAM, Football Association of Malaysia. I did my primary school in Kelana Jaya, then I went to Penang. I stayed there for 25 years, and then I got back here just before the first MCO. So what a timing, right? So I came back, the industry was affected, so I literally had to do something else, which I will share a little bit later. But in terms of being an international host and an international voiceover talent, I've been doing it for the last 8 years. Not very long compared to some of the legends here. And it's been a very interesting journey, especially during this pandemic. So in terms of my education, I have HR background. So very, very different. But I hardly practiced it.
Right.
I maybe out of my 20 years of working, I would say I've only practiced it like 3 years. So, but I think emceeing jobs and voiceovers has been the longest industry that I stayed in. So,
Powerful.
Awesome.
In fact, Joshua, actually, we share a bit of common, thing over here. I actually moved back to KL from Penang in September 2019, just before the bloody MCO. Similar thing. I got a lot of things messed up and all that. I thought that we moved back here and things is gonna be cool, right? But then again, what happened, right? But I think you have two angles here that we really love to explore. But I think one thing that is really interesting, which is something that I wanted to do when I was young, right? How did you start? When did you started as a voiceover talent? I mean, and share with us a little bit more about what do you really do as a voiceover talent?
I guess it's also very much linked to my MC job as well, MC career. When I first started my MC career, actually I stumbled into it because I was in a very bad place about 8 years ago. I wasn't doing very well. I was hitting rock bottom. And a friend of mine heard about me, actually my schoolmate heard about me, who was in events. And he said, why don't you give it a try? So World Cup 2014 was my first gig. It was a shopping mall activation event, and I did it for a mere $100 for about 4 hours. So of course I don't get that right now, but that was during those days. It was like, wow, $100 for 4 hours, take. So that was my first job, and then that moved me to other things. And being in Penang, we didn't really have much choice because, as you know, I think Jason from Penang would understand that Penang market is very small, right?
You calculate, you have a handful of malls. That's it.
Very true. So I had to do everything, basically from, I would say, from annual dinners to weddings to award nights, launching, conferences, forums. I'm also a sports commentator for FIBA. So I got my break from there. So I commentate 3x3 sports. In basketball, it's usually five aside, right? So there's a new discipline that actually been introduced to the Olympics. If you follow the Olympics, was 3x3, which is mainly known as street basketball. So it's a bit more aggressive and a bit more fast paced. So I was given the opportunity to do that, and I was also a mixed martial arts commentator. So that was what I did as a commentator.
That's
a lot of people heard of. Sorry,
that's a lot. That's a lot.
So that's Penang. That's Penang. You have no choice because you
have to do a lot of things. I totally agree.
Yeah.
But you didn't mention anything about DJ.
No.
Do you do?
No, I'm not a DJ. So I'm trying to in a sense disassociate myself with DJ, even though I know how to spin and all that. Because I felt that that's not my niche. That is not my direction.
Right.
That hence the reason why my voice is like that. I purposely actually practice it to be like this, because I wanted to go professional. I didn't want to go into like stand-up comedy.
Yo, those kind of stuff. Right?
No, I mean I tried, but it wasn't really me. It wasn't really me. So
That's where you get all the chicks, isn't it?
Well,
Not the wrong ones.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
That's true.
Yeah. So when I did more forums and conferences, then people started to hear my voice and said, "Hey, why don't you try voiceovers?" So in our associations, like wedding associations and events, they gave me a break and they gave me voiceovers for mainly developers. That was when I first started. So that was my first gig. So that's how I actually progressed to voiceover. Yeah.
Right. So
Interesting.
I mean, when it comes to voiceover versus emceeing.
Yep.
Okay, so what are the difference between these two?
Voiceover and
is more, voiceover is more like scripted, right? And you're behind the scene. And MC is very much
you literally have to follow word for word, definitely, when it comes to voiceovers. Yeah. But emceeing, sometimes you do have to follow word for word as well, unless the client really trusts you trust you to not make the mistakes so that's how it works out. Of course, voiceovers, you don't have the audience, you can do your retakes, you can actually do amendments to it. What else? Physical, okay, let's talk about physical events. It's a one-time off. You make the mistake, you're gonna be whacked really hard. Yeah.
Right. So I think same goes to the virtual events, right? There's no more second take. Like we can't rewind and say that, let's go back to the very beginning just now, right?
Yeah. So that's the thing. Now with virtual events, there are two types of virtual events. One is that you go live. That is correct. You cannot amend or you cannot change. But a lot of people are actually going to pre-recording virtual events or pre-recorded virtual events. That gives you an opportunity to retake and also eliminate a lot of technical challenges.
That's very true.
However, there is a downside. The downside is that you don't have personal connection.
True.
That's true.
You
can't. So like, for example, like Bob is talking to me, Richard is talking to us, right? Then I can't really look at the chat and then say, hey, this is what's happening. So there is a downside to it, but the upside is that you eliminate all the other challenges, technical challenges, human challenges, whatever it is. So that's upside. Yeah.
True.
Makes sense.
I mean,
makes sense.
Yeah. Of course. I mean, that's a very clear differences. But of course, we have different sort of events coming up right now when it comes to virtual. But I think you were just saying that the physical events is coming back. So
physical events are coming back, but usually I would say it's hybrid. It's more hybrid. So
even those inquiries that you got, you just mentioned to us, those are hybrids now, or
out of 10 would be like 2.
Okay, what you can dine in now. What do you mean by hybrid?
Okay, so it means like, for example, awards night. Okay, let's just say I've got 500 awardees, just say, or 1,000 awardees. Obviously, I can't go into a hall at Sunway and then book the whole hall and then have 1,000 people inside. I think Singapore will not agree with that either, right? Usually it's like 50% or less than 50%. So what they do is that people have to watch it live now, and then I will get a small number of people to join me live physically, just say, for example, Sunway Hall. So it could be only 30 people that are going to be there watching us physically, but the other thousands of people will be watching us live through the computer. That's called
okay.
But it must be live. It must be live, yes.
All right. Oh yeah, I think it's something similar that Ron shared with us as well. I mean, I'm not sure if you watched this. Yeah, Ron is our event guy. He shared with us a lot of new concepts. We totally kind of like, poof, what the hell is those? Right? Seriously, we have no idea. But yeah, I mean, that's a very good explanation. Thank you so much, Joshua, for sharing this. But I think we want to drill in deeper on this thing. Although, I'm so glad that your emceeing is coming back, which is like you're saying you have quite a number of
thank God, after 2 years.
Congratulations. Yeah,
the fun days are back.
Oh my God. And I hope it's here to stay. Let's hope it's
You
here
mean
to
what?
stay.
Oh,
I mean, as in
the
like
live
the
events.
good days is coming back. Let's hope that
yes.
things are getting back to normal right now.
But the
Elsa,
events would definitely change. The scene of events would definitely change. Yeah, there'll be no
Definitely.
more fully, I would say, there'll be no more fully physical events. Everything will go hybrid.
I would agree
Everything will
as
go
well.
hybrid. Yes.
I also
Launchings
agree.
and all that will go hybrid. Your road shows will go hybrid, will be smaller, but MCs have to be versatile in engaging crowds and able to be standing in front of cameras and all that kind of stuff. So that is going to be a change in emceeing.
Is that gonna be like?
Yes, we got a question from Singapore.
Yeah, question. Come on.
How do
Let me
you
bring this
engage
down
crowd? Seriously, I don't get it. How do you engage crowd?
You're talking
We're
about
doing
virtual?
a road show. You want road show or
Road shows?
virtual?
Oh,
Yeah, road show and virtual.
Okay,
lah.
so physical is much easier. Physical events is much easier than virtual
Okay.
because you can read off
You can
each
see,
other.
yeah,
right? But you got to have thick face up.
Mhm.
Okay. Now let's talk about physical.
right.
Okay. If say for example, insurance agent comes up to you at the shopping mall, right? And I say, hey sir, I want you to buy this insurance. I believe that you can do it. Or credit card guy comes up to you, right? You will say no.
Right.
But a few seconds later, you will forget.
Mm.
Right? As a
Right.
consumer, you will forget, right?
Mhm.
But a lot of people are worried, especially as MCs or sales rep or insurance agent or credit card salesperson, are always worried what the person thinks of you.
Mhm.
But if you were in their shoes, will you remember? No.
No.
So that's how I psycho myself.
Unless the guy happens to come with a voice like Joshua, maybe I remember.
But that's how I psycho myself to not feel fear of what the person is thinking of me. Because in a few seconds, the guy will forget about me already.
That's very true.
Unless I give him something.
Mm.
So that's why I overcame that that fear. Okay. I overcame that fear when I actually started to understand that, hey, this guy is not against me,
True.
right? So I go up to the person, hey, you do this, you do this, you do this, you do this, and they're like, I'm gonna give you a prize, all this kind of stuff. I'll pull you over, and I want you to say Merry Christmas, and then I'll ask Merry Christmas. They don't really care. They don't really care.
Right.
That's an
So
interesting one.
once you understand that, that's okay. That's physical.
Okay.
That's physical. But if you talk about
Then virtual?
virtual,
Yeah.
virtual is definitely much harder. Much harder. So that's why those who are watching right now, I mean, from what I can see, there are 11 people who are watching right
There you
now. To those who are watching, right, also engage with the MC, also engage with us. Ask questions and definitely identify who is asking questions. So that's why I said Bob, I said Richard. They will feel appreciated. Like for example, StreamYard. Do you know that StreamYard can actually highlight the person's comment?
Yeah.
Yep.
Right? You just click on it and then it will show, right? There you go.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is also engaging.
Oh, okay.
Because then the person who has commented feels like, hey, I've been acknowledged.
That's
And
very
I'll
true.
comment more. Right?
Yeah.
So engaging with crowds is a very important role. Or another one that you see a lot of KOLs do or KOCs do is that if you believe in this product and you believe that that this particular statement is correct, just press 1 and press enter now. Press. Yeah? Engaging.
Yeah. We've seen it before. Yep.
Yeah, it's not just for fun.
Hey guys, if you guys are listening to this, right, to show that you are real, to show that the
Yeah,
number
so-
is not fake, type 1.
Yeah. Yes.
So guys, if you're watching right now, help me prove this to everybody
Yeah.
else, everyone who's watching. Do me a favor, guys. Do me a favor. Type 1 and press enter, and I will mention your
Yes.
name, and that's called engaging.
Yeah.
Don't
that's
embarrass me
Joshua.
because I had to convince Joshua and say that we've got a very engaging audience, So
Yeah.
don't make me look stupid, please.
Yeah, so I got 12
Joshua,
people.
read
Come on,
out
guys.
names.
12 people.
Yeah.
Type 1 and just press enter. Hello, simple lah. Do that. There you go. We got Patricia Wong. Dun, dun.
If not, next time I'll get Manfred to sing in front of you. Then you know.
I tell you, you get
I'm very sure Patricia is not washing dishes right now.
10 o'clock.
That's good.
So
Yeah.
that's how you engage crowd with virtual. I mean, of course, there are other things are
Right.
like, games. You can do all these kind of things. So that is how you engage with the crowd.
Yeah, Patricia is saying, you guys are engaging. Yay. Yeah, Patricia, is this the first
No,
time
I'm
you watch
not.
this? Thank you so much. She's saying, you're not doing dishes. I think you're not doing dishes.
Dishes.
So
Yeah.
that's how you got to be engaging.
Right.
It's
I
a lot of
see,
effort.
okay.
It's a lot of effort.
So it sounds like it's getting a lot more difficult when you're doing hybrid because you have to take care of the crowd in physical. At the same time, you have to go and stir up. Now, you guys, if you're watching this, maybe you have multiple cameras and whatnot, right? You have to. I mean, I'm just saying. I pretend I have another camera here. Then I pretend I have another crowd here. I'll be like, I'll be going nuts, man. It sounds very difficult.
So for MCs, we are not very used to the idea of focusing on many cameras, right? I mean, I'm not from RTM, I'm not from NTV7. Sorry, NTV7 doesn't exist anymore.
Hey,
TV9 or TV3. I'm not like Raymond Gore. I'm not like Patrick Teo. I'm not like them. I'm not like the legends at all. You don't have that. So you literally have to practice. So like right now, I have to practice to learn how to talk in front of the camera. I have to focus on the camera. I have to see the camera. I'm also, involved with helping people to sell wheels and all that. So I also have a camera in front of me and I have to talk to the camera illiterately. I have to get used to it. So you have to get used to it. So like right now that you guys are doing it, it's fantastic because it's a platform that you guys can practice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's
the idea.
It's tricky. It's tricky with the hybrid. It's tricky where you got to engage the crowd. You got to engage. So I did one. There's a question here. So what kind of events I've done? I've done for RHB. Okay, I've done for RHB investment. That was a hybrid. How many people was attending physically? If I'm not mistaken, physically was 60, I think.
Wow.
Online was 500.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
1 to 10.
So I literally I had a TV at the side of my stage where I had people chatting with me through their own platform. And then I had to engage the crowd at the same time.
Oh.
Not only that, I had to play a game that was done online. And the scores were literally being shown on the screen, on the LED screen. So I literally had to commentate the game as well.
Wow, that's messy.
Do you guys get paid double for doing hybrid?
Yeah, I wish.
Yeah.
That's
I
like,
wish.
wow, so much more.
No, actually,
work.
3 times.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work. And hybrids
crazy.
and virtual, there is no break. Physical events, you got break, right? You got dancing, you got singing, you got time to give people to eat. But virtually, you don't have a break. You
That's
are
true.
back to back all the way. All the way you're back to back. Why? It's because people who are watching virtual is not going to wait for you. Okay, lah, you makan and what you makan lah.
Then people will go away. Then you lose them.
They're going to shut up. I go and do my own thing, right? So
True.
virtual events is equivalent to double or 2.5 times more than a physical event. So it means virtual events is only 2 hours. Physical events is 4 hours. You compress it to 2 hours.
My
That
goodness.
sounds
So
like
it's not easy at all. It's back to back. Everything is pop, 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 pop. You got to be on your toes at all times. At all times. So I hope I answered that question, KY.
yeah. Thank you so
So,
much for the question.
yeah.
I hope we do, right, KY. Thank you for joining us. But guys, just a quick shout out before we proceed to the next
Oh,
one. Right?
Kagi. Oh, it's my friend.
Yeah, I think that's supposed to be your friend, right? So thank you so much for joining us up to now.
Yeah.
If you have any
Yes.
questions, not to us, today's, the guy, I'm supposed to do like this. I think it's a lot easier so that we can actually highlight the right person over here. I'm just saying.
Why are you
Okay,
highlighting?
so-
It's okay
yeah,
lah.
yeah,
Don't
yeah.
highlight me lah.
Yeah, okay.
So yeah, Joshua is the guy, So if you have any questions regarding emceeing, voice over, even like what we are talking about, a hybrid event, virtual event, anything, post them away in the comment and we will bring them up, we promise. Like what?
Yeah.
Manfred, you have a question. Go.
Yes.
Go ahead.
So for MC, I think one of the precondition is you must able to react fast, think fast, able to gauge the situation, and I wouldn't use the word react.
Awareness.
No, React is
awareness.
fine. React is fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
React is fine. Yeah.
So-
some people
so-
call it cover. Some people call it people call it like you think on the spot. That kind of thing.
how do you train that? That's very difficult. No?
A lot of experience. I
You must
can tell
keep
you when
doing
I first did mine, I literally didn't know what to do because there is no school to teach me all these kind of things. So,
don't think so,
to
yeah.
those out there, the tip is very simple. Use whatever you have around you. That is one of the things that I used. So whatever it is, whether it's weddings or whatever it is, there's a little break or however, or even launching, just use whatever's around you. That is the best. Like, for example, if you lost your thought online, say like, for example, right now, what is the best thing you could do if you lose your thought, or suddenly you lose your question, or suddenly you lose your audience or your guest? Like, for example, suddenly I disappear. So everybody's going to like, huh? So what do you do? Very simple. We use whatever's around you.
Yeah.
You
call
the best person to use at the moment is your audience.
Yeah.
So go back to your audience. That is the best. Oh, the guy disappeared. Oh, just continue. I said, don't need to mention that he got disconnected. Looks like we got another question here. Maybe I can answer that question. Answer. Then the guy come back. Oh yes, we got back our friend Jason, and also Manfred as well as Andrew. Hope everybody's good. That is what you do, because you use whatever facilities and whatever information that you have around you. But of course, forums and conferences are a bit different. You need information at the tip of your fingers, so you need to know your audience and you need to know your information.
Need to do your homework.
Yeah. And Kai was saying virtual event MC needs to be able to shock scenery. That's a nice word. You have to you have to just literally you have to pretend that you have 5,000 people,
yes,
like the case
very true.
You just talk like you have 5,000 of them. Oh my goodness. Yeah.
I'm also doing one very soon. I'm doing one very soon where they are going to have at least 5,000 audience.
Okay. Holy, that's cool.
I hope to get it. So yeah, that's 5,000 audience. Awardees is 1,000.
Wow.
Because they didn't do it last year, so they have accumulated all the other awardees here. Wow. Yes, Manfred. Yeah.
Your Singapore friend don't understand what is show study. What is that?
Shock scenery. Shock scenery means you enjoy yourself. You feel good about yourself when we are talking as if you're really like. Yeah,
yes,
it's a Malay.
No, lingo.
Okay, Manfred, I'll give you an example.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, you think your voice sounds like Darth Vader.
Purposely one lah, you Andrew. Purposely one lah.
So I walk around and say, my voice is like Darth Vader.
He was just saying that he sounded like Darth Vader, and people so scared of him, and some of his friends call him Doraemon. I was like, what the heck is that, man?
It's like correction. I need to correct Jason.
Okay.
My interns used to call me Darth Vader.
Intern called Darth Vader.
And because of Doraemon. Of course, my height, and somehow I'm their superior, and I always have a low voice, and I always look very serious. Hence, one thing lead to another, it becomes Darth Vader. But for the Doraemon part is because when your colleagues need help, every time, this one can settle. That one can settle. Hence the nickname Doraemon. Okay. Okay. I'll go back to Joshua.
Okay. Shocks the name does that. I'll give it to you. Thanks. Okay. Now, I mean, guys, if you have any questions, right, feel free to shoot them away. So we have we have quite a number of questions over here, but I think this is one very important. Okay, how has the industry? How has the pandemic hit you guys? What really happened? You're just saying that you moved back to KL just before the pandemic started, and you were hit hardly. I mean, in a way, by the pandemic. But what happened actually?
I think everything shut down now. I mean, everybody couldn't go out. Studios closed down, even though we were doing virtual for a while.
Even the voiceover part of it.
Voiceover has increased a little. I do like 6 to 8 voiceovers a month. Ooh. So that's quite substantial, and that helps me quite a bit in terms of sustaining myself during the pandemic. So I'm very grateful for that. In terms of how it's affected us, events has really, really gone down to almost 80% to 85%. So that's substantial. That's very substantial. So a lot of industrial players has been affected. There'll be a lot of companies have closed down, even companies has closed down. But if you say in terms of emceeing, we had to pivot very quickly. to online, and that's what I did. I did my own interview. Actually, I have my own interview sessions like this. I used to use also the same platform as you guys were using, and that's how I pivoted quickly, and that's why I could go into virtual quickly. And a lot of MCs can't go virtual because they don't know how to, in a sense, they don't know how to present themselves. They don't know how to stand in front of the cameras well. So I guess I'm one of the blessed few that are able to do what I do right now, because I pivoted very quickly. But of course, how is it affected? Being a male, okay, I don't know whether I should say this because I most likely going to get shot, but being a male MC has disadvantages when it comes to virtual. A lot of people would prefer female, so that also has affected a lot of male MCs. Easy on the eyes, right? Easy on the eyes.
Right.
I mean, I don't blame them at all. But it is actually a reality that a lot of male MCs has lost a lot of jobs to our female counterparts.
Wow, that's interesting. I never thought about that.
Never thought of that.
That's why you look at virtual is mostly all females. Mostly all
The
females.
problem is, I think we never attended many. I think I probably never attended any online virtual events before this.
Yeah, unless you're involved, lah. And a lot of virtual events are also closed doors.
True. It's really for the organization or whatnot. It's really for themselves.
And to tell you the truth, even for people like us as MCs, we can't take photos. We are
What?
not allowed.
That's very interesting.
And if I want a video of myself at the event, I have to ask permission from the client. Means I have to write in. I have to sign an NDA.
Wow.
And only
That
my
sounds very
section.
interesting.
Only my section. I cannot have the bosses' faces. I cannot have the awardees. Nothing. Only my face.
That's very interesting.
So that's how it has affected our industry. We used to be able to take photos, physically you can take photos.
I know, yeah, you can just take a selfie and all those things, right?
Yeah, you can show to people, to
can't
tell
simply
people.
do that
Yeah.
anymore.
Oh my God, that's very interesting. That's very interesting.
It's
Somehow
much
rather,
tighter.
yeah, but what's the point of doing this? Yeah.
Because there are a lot of things like, for example, people don't want to copy, don't want to be copied. You don't want to copy each other, right? So they don't want you to follow their way of doing things because, hey, I think so hard already, ma. Walao, I want you to copy. Right?
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Eh,
But we have a question from
serious and all that kind of stuff, yeah.
but we have a question from Bob. Is the energy you project different when you host virtual events? Oh, that's a very
Of course.
That's a good one.
Very,
That's a
very,
good one.
very much different. Okay, I was sharing this to the three gentlemen.
Yeah, man.
When I was in Singapore studying, I got the privilege to actually talk to one of my mentors there, and I'm also a stage guy. So this particular guy is also a stage guy, and he told me this, which I try to implement it in every area of my life. I try to. Okay. He said that in order for me to get a response from the audience, I have to do 2.5 times more. Okay, 2.5 times more than what I expect from the audience. Okay, 2.5 times more means if I want 40% of people to respond, I have to do 100%. So if I want 100%, I have to do 250%.
That's physical.
That is only physical.
Okay.
Don't talk about virtual.
So
Because
what
virtual is even
about
harder,
virtual?
Because virtual, you got to engage with the crowd. You got to be animated. You got to push.
You got a shocks in the read. Manfred, learn that word.
Shocks in it. It's even harder. Now we also talk about the idea that virtual, you only engage with 2 senses, which is visual and hearing. That's it. You don't have touch. You don't have taste. You don't have smell. Physically, you have these 3 to help you.
Yep.
So imagine you only got 2 senses that are being engaged at the moment. So when you have that, how much more must you compensate for the other 3?
Yeah.
Right?
Sounds like so much crazier, right?
How much importance. That's why a lot of people always think that virtual is easier than physical. No, it's much, much harder. But sad to say, we are paid less than physical. And we expect to go.
You do?
Even expected to go for rehearsals. Can you imagine a 2-hour event? I have to rehearse for 6 hours.
What? And you get paid lesser.
And you get paid lesser.
That's real.
That's for real.
My goodness.
Because you never travel. That's why they want to cut you.
No. I go to their studio.
Because
Yet again, you get paid lesser.
I have to go to the studio. Yeah. The reason why is because why 6 hours is because you don't only deal with yourself. You deal with the producers, you deal with the artists, you deal with the technology, you deal with the internet, you deal with the information, you deal with the client, you deal with all these people. So if one part goes wrong, the whole thing goes wrong.
That's
Unlike
true.
physical is different. One part goes wrong, I still can continue.
As long as the mic is working.
Yeah.
Correct.
If it's not working, then we shout a little bit.
I already forget about it. I cannot touch it already. What?
Yeah. If
If
somebody
my
has to
visual
box
is
internet
wrong,
down. Yeah.
If my visual is wrong, 3D visual is wrong, or my backdrop is wrong, they have to like redo it on the spot to show the client.
Oh my God.
So
Now I can imagine.
Sometimes it can be 6 hours. So that's why even now I am telling people that my rehearsal is only 2 hours max. I cannot.
Right.
I'll sit down there. I like events 1 hour. I sit there for 6 hours. Might as well. I might as well sleep there. Next day only. You know. So, but this
Very
happens.
true.
This happens, and during this time, we have learned. MCs have learned that we have to put our foot down because we sometimes we are taken for a ride.
That's very true. That's very true. Yeah. Now let's move to the next question. Thanks, Bob. Thank you so much for the question. I think that's a very good one. You see, even Joshua is in tears now because of that.
We answered the whole day. That's
about
why.
the toughness, the 6 hours shit, right? Oh my goodness, this is crazy. But Richard has a very interesting one. Richard asked, since your voice is your asset, do you insure them? But that's a very.
I wish I could. I wish I could. Not in Malaysia. You can actually insure that. If I'm not mistaken, Singapore, you have that.
Oh, is it?
Singapore, I think you do have. States, in the States, you have. In Europe, you have.
Vader. You got bloody insure that, you know.
Go. Then you go and sue James Earl.
What the hell?
Yeah.
So you have to insure that.
Yeah. Then you go and sue James Earl Jones. You take my voice.
Yeah.
Like,
but in Malaysia, you can't.
Hey, chill. But thanks for the question, Richard. That's a very good one. And thanks, Joshua, for sharing that.
Our seafood asks us to increase our energy, ma. So
is that why you guys are standing?
Oh yeah, I mean in a way. Yeah. You have to do it over here.
Okay.
Cannot, I gotta take a power and plug into my ass already.
Yeah, and Kai was saying, exactly, it is much more tiring for the console too. Console means
the console controllers.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
so like you got the sound guys, you got the 3D animators, you got the music, you got the DJs, you got the back end, you got the you got the producers, you got the directors. It's much harder. It's much harder than physical because it takes a lot of concentration.
You're referring to the guys that in physical, those guys that sit at the back with all these consoles.
Correct.
Raised floor and all. Okay.
Yes, and the number of people usually are double or triple.
Wow.
And you guys get paid less.
Yes, because Malaysia does not understand the value that we bring.
Wow.
So they think that because it's virtual, everything is cheaper. No, it's more expensive.
Yeah.
It's much more expensive. Like, for example, they pay me the same rate, but they use my camera, they use my laptop, they use my electricity. Physically, do you do that? No.
Yeah, you just be there yourself.
Yeah, I just bring myself there. That's it.
Yeah, that's it. That's true.
But virtually, I have to bring if I'm working from home, I got my own camera. This camera costs me money. Laptop costs me money. Every time I use my laptop, it's going to deteriorate. Right?
Correct.
That's very true.
So
very true.
It's something that people don't understand.
Yeah. Better change your rate card and include.
No.
You talk I think what allow these people
so it's a bit tricky. It's a bit tricky.
Okay. Yeah.
Every
Thanks,
industry has its
Guy,
challenges. Yeah.
I assume Kai is definitely in the same industry as well. Right.
She's in sound. She's a very good friend. Yeah.
She's powerful sound people, Like,
we met.
I believe this is your friend, right? This is actually a friend.
I think it's just my friend as well.
Catherine. Catherine said, Joshua, you have the ability to keep the virtual audience on the edge of their seat. That's awesome. Virtual
Just don't
events
fall
are
off.
great in
Just
the
don't fall
way, that we are able to build network across the globe.
Mhm.
I definitely agree. But of course, we have to understand that, the MC now, because Joshua just shared with us how difficult it is, right, to actually do control in a very different way.
Mhm. Mhm.
So yeah, I think we have to appreciate
Yep.
voice
Yep.
talents a little bit more,
Mm.
MCs a little bit more,
Mm.
and pay a
Yep.
little bit more, please. Come on, guys. I mean, cannot be like that.
Yeah.
And I think Catherine was actually following up, asking another question. Were you the voiceover for UTP intro video, Joshua?
I can't
What?
remember what is UTP.
Yeah,
University?
right.
University Technology something.
Petronas, UTP sounds like. But Catherine, are you? Yeah.
Yeah, let us
If
know.
you did,
Catherine.
maybe you can elaborate what's UTP.
Yeah, maybe you can elaborate a little bit, Catherine. Yeah.
I have to go through all my scripts and see what UTP is.
Our friend has about that's why Joshua does about
From
6
the University
VO
Technology
every-
Patronage. Yes, I was.
University Technology
I
Patronage.
was.
Ah.
Okay.
Yes, I
Okay.
was.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah.
Right. Okay,
Yes, I
University
was.
Technology Petronas. That's right. That's
Mhm.
right. Awesome.
Yes, I was.
So you found then oh, by the way, I really have to bring this up, just in case
Yeah.
you guys are actually no, hang on. I want to actually do this. If you guys wants to connect with Joshua,
Hmm.
now
You should.
Joshua is
You
an
should.
MC and he's a voiceover talent, and he's actually, he has a nice voice, as you probably have experienced, up to about 41 minutes right now. And you guys want to talk to him. This is the link. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna post this thing also into the comment in a bit.
Mm.
But before that, I want to actually bring up this question.
Yep.
Oh yeah, this is not a question. This is Catherine. Catherine said
Yep.
you can recognize your golden voice. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
You've got your fan. Yeah.
You got a fan. You got a
That's a
fan.
nice
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. I think let's go back to the questions. Let's see. Oh yeah, I think this is very important. We want to start learning for ourselves already. Like
Okay.
how can we improve our voice presence online?
Okay.
Yes. Okay. Take notes, guys. Take notes. Get
Now,
ready.
especially
So,
especially the Darth Vader wannabe. Anyway.
Okay, so one of the things that you could do is that always remember that the first thing you could do is to remember that your body is also an instrument. Always remember that. How does sound travel? Does it travel to vacuum? No, right? It has to travel through medium. It has to
Okay.
travel from something. Something must resonate in order for sound to travel. Your
Right.
vocal cords is a muscle, two-piece muscle that vibrates. So
Okay.
it's basically using solid items to actually transmit sound. So your
Right.
body is also an instrument. Okay, your body is also an instrument. So when you do low tones, use your chest, use your body to resonate that sound. So like, for example, like for our Darth Vader fan, right? If you really want to go down, really go down. Use your chest. Go down.
My friend. See whether the real.
Okay. Try. Come.
Yes.
Use the force, Luke.
Yeah. Fine. That's your
yeah.
interpretation of it. It's fine.
Okay.
It's all right.
Yeah,
It's just
okay.
work where you start from. So if you want to start
chest.
lower resonance, we call it slogging. So you slog your voice. Bring it down. Slog it down.
Wow, check it out.
You
Okay,
got
man,
to bring
right.
it down.
Go and use your bloody app or whatnot app to go and train that first. You come back and go and play this.
Yeah. So when you do high pitches, you use your cheekbones, you use your small muscles at the back to really bring it out. Hey, how are you doing?
How do
But for men, if high pitches seems a bit
Not really.
right.
Not really. What you do is that you lift your upper lip and you lift your cheeks. That's all.
Okay.
Just try
Check
doing
that
that.
out. Come, Manfred. You again.
No, that's Andrew, not me. High pitch is
What?
very difficult for me. High pitch
Why?
is
You don't
very
have cheekbone, Cannot be, right? You gotta muscle that. Try.
But
Try.
it takes practice. It takes practice. Yeah.
This is
So
cool.
that's one of the things. So you use your body as an instrument. Always
see.
remember to use your body as an instrument. Yeah, I think Catherine
was saying
has,
very similar to singing.
correct.
Right.
You are absolutely right. I don't think it's similar, it's the same. It's
the same.
exactly the same.
Okay.
Yeah, because I used to be a voice. I used to be a okay. I didn't say this in my introduction. I'm also a music teacher.
Oh wow, teacher.
Oh.
I was a vocal teacher as well as a guitar teacher.
What do you don't teach, by the way? What do you don't know? It sounds like you can
I
do
don't
the
teach.
sports
I don't teach trombone. I
commentating.
don't teach saxophone. No. But yeah,
Only thing he doesn't do is DJ. Like. That's all. He
Yeah.
can do, but he doesn't want to do.
Yeah,
but I want to
everything
be a
else-
radio
everything is
DJ.
like-
By
no
the
problem.
way, I really love to be a radio DJ. Yeah, I mean whoever's listening out there.
Whoever,
I really love to.
whoever, right?
Is it very
Darth Vader.
difficult to? Is it very difficult to start your own internet radio? Just
At this moment of time, a lot of people
Yeah.
are saying that radio stations are dying, whether online or offline.
but it's on internet. Somebody can tune in if it's
True, but I don't know. I mean, in Malaysia, it
Too
doesn't
noisy?
seem to
Okay.
has built any traction.
No, by the way, if you're talking about this thing, right, Joshua, if you don't mind, I mean, I would like to chip in a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay. This is something that Andrew helped me when I was actually pivoting about a year plus ago.
what's that?
Since we are internet, right? Since you're online, let's go international.
Yeah. I mean, the good part is that we can go international.
Yeah, I mean, let's go international. That's how I connect with Manfred and a few. Because now you see, like, I was only teaching in Malaysia, but now my students came from, like, my students now currently came from like 20 over countries right now.
True.
Close to 30
Of
countries
course.
right now.
Of course, there's a chance. I'm not saying there's no chance. I'm not saying there isn't any. I mean, we just have to get that, I guess, that golden ticket or that opportunity. So that's why I am actually reaching out to as many people as possible to give me that opportunity to go into radio. Even though it's a dying trend, I didn't say that it's not possible, even though it's a dying trend according to people. But I'm still wanting to go to radio.
That's
I'm
nice.
still wanting to do, I'm still wanting
Radio
to
is
go into
fun.
TV. I'm still wanting to do that.
But before that, you have a junior asking for advice right now, you know. Like Catherine is asking, you know, she wants to dive into the voiceover talent. Where do they advertise the auditions? You know, is
There's
there
a voice
anything-
guild. There's a voice guild in Malaysia.
Yes.
However, there is a prerequisite to that. One is that you need to do at least 5 working or paid jobs voiceovers.
Oh,
Then only then they will allow you to join the guild.
okay.
So if you got friends out there who can, give you the chance, doesn't matter whether it's small pay, doesn't really matter, get it done and get your voice in the airwaves and then just record it somewhere and then keep it and then write to Voice Guild. That's one. Voice Guild Malaysia.
Right.
All the top-notch voiceover
All the
artists out
guys are
there.
there. Yeah.
A lot.
Even Leonard Tan is there. Dato Leonard Tan.
Yeah. Okay. Now Richard has a very good, interesting advice. 5 paid gigs can be game. $1 is still paid.
Yeah.
Talk to.
But I mean, you can do it for free. You can do it for free. That's what I did at the beginning. I did for free.
Okay.
Yeah, well, that's very true.
Yeah.
That's very true.
I did it
You
for
know.
free. I will go into a studio, a camera guy. He would just give me a clip-on mic, and I'll just put my head into a pillow, and then I'll just start talking. That's what I did. That was my first gig. I had pillows
That's
here,
cool.
pillows here. I put my face inside, and I just read the script. No, that was it. I still
Right.
Oh.
And you have a
Online.
gig done. Awesome. Right, Manfred.
What about online? Online gig, like maybe hours?
Sorry, say again.
Online gig, online.
Yeah.
Is it counted as online? Online gig?
Online.
post a-
I'm
That's
not
right.
too
As
sure
long
what
as
you
it's-
mean by
as long as it's a recording, I think. As long as it's a gig, it's a gig,
okay.
right? It doesn't matter whether it's online or offline. Is that? I mean, is that your question, Manfred?
Yes.
So Joshua, I mean, I believe what he's asking is, what if I did an online gig, meaning that it's just something a very casual kind of thing, but I did voice over using whatever I have over here, and we produce
Whatever
it
it
into
is.
something.
Yeah,
It
just
is,
go
right?
and do it. I still remember people just go on your WhatsApp and just record and then give it to the guy. Was
You know
really
what? You can actually go Fiverr,
It was really horrible.
Fiverr, and do it for a very cheap rate to just get whatever it's done,
Yeah.
right? And then after that, you have the gig. Then you have 5 gigs. I think it's pretty
I mean, yeah, you
straightforward.
can start it. Yeah, you can start your Fiverr. Fiverr, yeah, you can do that.
Yeah,
But Fiverr, you're fighting
So-
with international clients.
true. And Catherine says
That's the tough
thanks.
part.
Yeah.
And us being Asians, we don't have the American slang. We don't have.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
So that's the disadvantage.
that's very true. Okay,
But
now
you do
that's a very
Chinese. You can do Chinese. You can do Mandarin.
You can do Bahasa.
Can you do Mandarin?
No, I can't. I'm sorry for those who are watching. I'm a banana.
Hokkien.
Hokkien also cannot lah. Walao, my Hokkien 6:30 because I was English
But
educated. So.
you Penang Mali one
Penang Mali, as long as I can order food, I'm happy already lo.
Okay.
That's a good one. Okay, what about the Zoom meetings or virtual meetings? I think this is okay. By the way, today's questions are set by Andrew. I believe this is very realistic. These are all good questions because we can't run away from Zoom nowadays. It's kind of like really this is what we do. We can't really run away from a lot of things online right now. Even though we are slowly going back to normal. Hopefully, I don't know, but this is definitely here to stay. Like Joshua just mentioned that the hybrid event is going to be here to stay. Virtual is going to be here to stay. So in Zoom meetings, what about we go into Zoom meetings? What can we do to actually, elevate our presence? Is there anything to do that? Is there any way to do that? Oh, you muted yourself, Joshua.
Yeah, we want to hear your voice.
I was coughing. That's why. You are referring from as a speaker, right?
Andrew, speaker,
Yep.
or you just go into the meeting like a coach kind of thing? Yeah.
Okay, so about Zoom is good because there are a few things that you can do in Zoom that you can't do physically. Like for example, you can do your research on the spot without anyone knowing, unless you're sharing screen. Okay, so what do you have to do to be impactful in your presence? So, you got your information at the tip of your fingers. Like you said, in Zoom, you got all that. The other one is that you have to get good equipment as well. But you don't need to do expensive ones. You don't really need to do expensive one like I have and Andrew has. You don't really need that. You can actually use what Jason is doing. And you can use what Jason is doing as well. It's not an issue. Just make sure that the mic, the headpiece with the mic is nearer to your mouth because it's still very far. We call it very far. It sounds very far away from you. So what some people do, that's why some people you see them, they put their mic like that. The reason is not because they want to look stupid. It's because they need to get a good sound. So the nearer the mic is to you, it's much better. Unless you want to get a professional mic like ours, okay? And there's plenty in the market. You can get it less than 100 as well, because you're not doing voiceovers. If you're doing voiceovers, then definitely you need to invest a little bit. However, that's one of the things that you need to do. I guess Zoom meetings, your lighting. Like for example, Jason has very good lighting. You talk about things like your backdrop. I don't really have a good backdrop. It's just my curtain. That's about it. Like Jason has neon lights at the bottom, blue colors, and all that kind. You got to play with that. You can do that as well. Yeah. But of course, as a international MC, people don't really care about your backdrop because people understand that it costs a lot of money. So they just really want you to host it carefully and appropriately and make sure that you sound great. That's it. Yeah. And you look great. Yeah. So one of the things that you need to do, especially when you go on talk shows like this, make sure that you brand yourself well. Like platforms like what we're using right now, you can put your logos up. You can make sure that your names are written with your classifications or your job descriptions and all that kind of stuff. And that's mainly it. That's mainly it for being in virtual and Zoom. Obviously, we've touched a lot of other things: engaging, being clear, know what your audiences want, and all that. So that's basically it. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing this. Yeah, energy, right? Even on physical, Joshua was just saying, if you want to command 100% response from the audience, you're going to put in at 250. I think when it comes to online, probably it's about 500%. How can we get 500% anyway? But we have a question from Richard. Richard was asking, how do you use tonality or pitch to work or manage or control the crowd?
Richard spoken like an expert.
Richard, you are quietly a voiceover talent or what? Or you are emceeing also?
That's a good one.
I guess it's how you want your message to come across. Like you want to emphasize something, right? So your tonality changes. So when I emphasize something, you see my tonality change. So when I emphasize the word emphasis or emphasize, my tonality changes, my pace changes. So when you want to, like, for example, you want to, like I said, you want to emphasize something, take it slow and take it loud. So if I say, like, for example, in Malaysia, right? In Malaysia, we are going through a pandemic. So the emphasis was Malaysia. Even voiceover is the same thing. When we want to change how the tone, we want to emphasize certain parts of a sentence, we need to change. Okay, like, for example, I'll take his question. How do you use tonality or pitch to work, manage, control the crowd? All right. So let's say I want to emphasize on how. How do you use tonality or pitch? If I want to say I want to emphasize on pitch, manage, control the crowd, how do you use tonality or pitch to work, manage, control the crowd? Pace, tonality, your pitch.
Powerful.
So it's
powerful.
So
Richard,
it
pay tuition fee, please. Okay,
Yes.
Richard. We're gonna get you Joshua's bank account number, pay tuition fee. You are
This is 400%.
Yes.
Richard said
That's
he did some
value.
emceeing in the previous life. That's not that bad. That's cool. That's cool. Mature.
Wow,
I mean,
okay.
every expert was every master was a disaster, right? I think that's a very, so keep doing it, Richard. Maybe you can find maybe like your previous life can become future life, So then so cool. Richard was saying you owe so many people tuition fees, including me. I've sent my account number over. Okay, so that's that. Okay, so yeah, I think that's a very good one, because really something that we have gotten a lot of today we actually learned so much from Joshua from a different angles, really something that we never thought of. Like, we thought that at the moment we on Zoom or whatever, we just do whatever.
You just yak
realize
only,
that we have,
and
like,
people
tonality and pitch kind of thing, and you can use your muscle and all that to move things around and all that. Wow, this is very, very exciting. And I think that is already coming to the end of the show. We do have still another half of a questions, but I don't think I want to hold Joshua further. But today, before that, okay, as usual, we're gonna have Manfred talking about his website of the week. Manfred is gonna share with us something very interesting. Manfred, over to you. I'm gonna bring that up into the screen over here.
Give me a minute.
All right. So it's okay. So Manfred is gonna share. Okay, for those who are new to this, right? What? Read aloud. Read aloud.
Yeah,
Okay, I have.
Read aloud is actually Google Chrome.
Okay. Here you go.
So can you see my screen down here? There's a black background.
I got it up.
Okay. Right.
So down here, as we speak, the words actually came out. Okay, this is one of the, as when we do live, actually the subtitles will appear directly, because this started for this read aloud, a text to speech voice reader, is because I wanted to read articles, but I'm lazy. I want to multitask. I want to do my dishes and listen at the same time. So I'm using this Google Chrome, and let it run the article and you read it out to me. It's quite
very Darth Vader.
I don't think there's a Darth Vader.
You can choose either Darth Vader or Tweety Bird, that kind of version, right? I don't know.
Let me try one of the article that I'm trying to. Then let's see whether I can demonstrate.
So guys, I've already kind of like.
Are you all able to listen to it? I'm not sure.
I'm not sure. Let's try.
Try and see. Try and see.
Let's
Bionic Company.
Can you hear now?
It's very, very soft.
Very soft.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Technology has ushered in the age of the Bionic Company. Organizations that combine the capabilities of humans and machines will develop superior customer experiences and relationships, more productive operations, and dramatic.
That's cool. That's cool. That's cool.
So this is basically the whole article will read out from
so
there.
It's text to speech.
Yes. So you just read out the article.
Text to speech. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Richard was saying
have you
you definitely
shared
need a
the link
better
already?
voice-over.
Absolutely, my friend.
I already shared the link.
There is actually.
You absolutely have to look for Have to look for Joshua. Okay. So yeah, I mean, hey, we have a bit of time over here since we are actually kind of like 1 minute down, but nonetheless, let's take one more question. I think this is a very interesting one. This is really something that I believe. I think this is really okay. Let's take this. Let's do this. How can we prepare for virtual meetings if there's anything? We just talked about that, right? Very similar to the Zoom meeting, right?
Yeah, it's very similar to the Zoom meeting. Get yourself your information, know your audience. The other thing, make sure that you got your lightings, make sure you got your equipment done properly. If you got minimal requirements, it's just like what Jason has, and also what's his name?
Manfred.
See, this is what happens. So just get something like that and just put it near to you and all that kind of stuff, and it'll be fine.
Okay. And then of course you gotta practice your cheekbone, your posture. I don't know, like
just record your voice.
Chest, kind of thing.
Just record your voice. If you want to hear how you sound, just record your voice. That's it.
I think
even
practice
though
makes perfect.
we heard our voice, it's difficult to manipulate the voice to what up to your standard is quite hard. No, it's not easy.
Oh, Joshua have been doing this for 8 years, Manfred.
Not really. The reason why is because we don't do it too often. Like for me, because it's my profession, so I do it often enough. But it's just because we don't do it often enough. I talk in the shower, I talk in my house. I mean, because that's I'm staying alone, so I constantly do that. Well, of course, like people like yourself, you got your own family and all that, right? Then, of course, it's a bit tricky lah. Your children and your wife is going to say, "Xiao liao ah." So then, of course, that is not going to help lah. But actually, it works that way. It works that way. You need to constantly be talking to yourself. Keep on practicing in the car and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
There's one way you can do. I did this for singing. I also did this for voiceovers as well. You can take two people, basically copy how they sound. If you really want to sound like Darth Vader, go and copy Darth Vader.
Yeah,
fine.
I give you
because I followed two people. I followed Raymond Gore and Samuel J. Jackson. These are the two that I follow. So I try to sound like them. Eventually, you will not sound like them, but you will sound to a tone that you will like.
Morgan Freeman has a very nice tone.
Yes, Morgan Freeman has a nice tone. Oh, sorry. Yes, Morgan Freeman, not Samuel J. Jackson. Morgan Freeman.
Yeah.
Morgan Freeman
Several.
And I follow Morgan Freeman and Raymond Gore.
Okay.
But then somehow I sound like Patrick Teo.
Very true.
Okay. Well, aim for the star, you land on the moon. I mean, either way it works. Anyway.
So these are the daily practice. These are the daily practice. Record, talk to yourself, and come across as a salesperson when you have a family.
So you hear most of the recordings and try to imitate them. Yeah. So if I hear more of Obama, maybe I'll get better, nearer, closer. The way
of course, don't forget your origins lah. Don't try to fake it and you sound like an Amor. Then people know you fake it. I've got some people that I know that fake it.
Right.
They really fake it, and then people will know one. So don't fake it.
Okay.
So that's very true. Thank you so much for all the useful tips.
Good.
This is one of the episodes that will go down one of the best episodes we have ever had, right? But nonetheless, guys, if you guys want to connect with Joshua, please go to this link. This is where you connect with Joshua on Facebook. This is where you get to talk to him about whether your voiceover gig or your MCing gig. Please, if you don't ask for don't ask for a lower rate. Please. It's already a very difficult situation. Now you understand that as a virtual MC or hybrid MC, you need to do double or more triple kind of work, So please appreciate, the talent.
Quality comes with the price. Quality comes
definitely.
with the price.
Okay, so that rounds up for the show today. And this is episode 49. Next week, we have 50. This is a Tree Marketeers show. Definitely, we have to thank you again, Joshua, for joining us tonight.
Joshua.
It's really a very good one. And we truly learned so much from you. Thank you so much for being with us today. And that brings us to the end of the show. Remember, next week, same time, Wednesday, every Wednesday at 10 p.m., we go live on my Facebook page and my YouTube channel. If you want to join us, do tune in and hit follow and like and subscribe and whatnot. Just make sure that you get notified whenever we go live again. So that's okay. So that's a wrap this round, and we'll see you again next week. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you for tuning
don't
in.
leave
Yeah.
us.
Yeah, I
Just
know.
join us in the backstage. Yeah.
No
Okay,
worries.
thank you so much. Okay, guys, see you. Good night. Bye.